Hello, everyone, Rand here, and welcome back to part 2 of the computer build here. Again, this is the lower end system, the lowest of the lower end systems we're building here. This is the $300 PC build, and at least at this price point, we are just under that price. With Windows 10 here actually making up a big portion of, in fact, I believe the most expensive portion of this build. The next most expensive part being the graphics card there. So we got the system hooked up here, got a keyboard, mouse, monitor. Just want to show you folks the hookup in the back here for starters. Now I have already started it just to make sure it'll post here. And I noticed right away we got a little, not really an issue, but it took me a while to figure out what output is being used for the monitor. I tried the graphics card first, quickly realized nothing down here is outputting any signal. And I guess can't quite see that, but down on the graphics card here there's DVI, HDMI, and a DisplayPort. None of those are displaying anything. Well, that's fine. There's also 3 ports up on the motherboard here. It's got VGA, DVI, and HDMI. Tried the HDMI and VGA. They weren't displaying nothing. Turns out the DVI port on there is the one that is displaying what is currently on the system here. So of course once we get it set up here, we're going to want to change that. So speaking of which, we'll start it up here, and typically before we even get installing Windows here, first thing you want to do, just power it up, make sure everything posts, make sure it works. So hit the power button there. Definitely not the quietest of systems here yet. And of course, again, if you watch the first part of the build here, this cooler is too big. So yes, there it just posted. Now it's going to get to the point, nothing to boot to. Well, because, yeah, hard drive's empty. We don't have Windows installed yet. So yeah, disk boot failure, insert system disk, press enter. We're not going to do that quite yet here. Probably what we should do, we could probably install Windows first. I don't think that's going to hurt. Let's power it back down here. So again, Windows 10 Home Edition here, perfectly fine unless you need the advanced features of Windows Professional, which is mostly networking related. So most people probably are not going to need that. So Windows 10, oh wow. Step 1, insert USB device into port. Power on computer, enter prompt, if prompted, enter your product key. Well, I'm pretty sure you will be prompted. I don't think there's any if about that. So yes, Windows here comes on this little flash drive, and then your product key's on that there. Used to be back in the day, they come on the CDs and then DVDs, and now it's on flash drives. Okay, so we're just going to take the stick here, put it in the system, power it on. Most likely is not going to boot to it, so we're going to want to go to the BIOS here and make sure we set it so it'll boot to the USB stick there. One thing to keep in mind here, and hopefully it works with this system, I'm not entirely sure. Let's see, yes, Del key there to enter the BIOS setup. There we go. But I was about to say that most systems nowadays can boot to USB, but that is something you want to keep in mind. Not all systems can necessarily. So we probably want to go to, let's see, standard I believe is where it is, or not. Probably should just go through all this. Channel 2. Oh, it is not quite. I would like to have it in ID 1, not number 2. Which I thought it said it was in 0. I might go and double check that here in a minute. Let's get to the options here for booting. Hard disk boot priority. Might have to check and see if there's even an option to boot to the USB here. Might be something we have to turn on. Bootable add-in cards, yeah, we don't need any of that. CD, DVD boot options, first boot device. Oh, what if we make it, it's not really a USB hard drive. It is USB. That'd be USB floppy, I believe, zip. Not sure if this is considered a zip or a CD-ROM. Let's, how about we leave it on CD-ROM or hard drive. Either one should probably work, I would think. Okay, let's F10 to save. Yes. And like I said, before we start installing here, I do want to maybe get the hard drive moved over to Okay, everyone, after trying a couple things here, I was thinking maybe this motherboard here would not support booting from USB, which would seem strange to me, being as old but as new as what it is. Finally figured out apparently it will not boot from the USB 3.0 ports. Looks like it has to be in USB 2.0, so let's fire it back up here. So again, it's plugged into a USB 2.0 port in the back here. The 3.0 ports are above it. And there we go. Windows Boot Manager. So that should be booting off the USB storage device there. So we're going to go to Windows Setup, 64-bit of course. You know, unless for some strange reason your computer does not support 64-bit, which you'd have to be pretty old not to. Always want to go with that. Now, being off USB 2.0, this is probably going to take a while. I don't know. The stick here does show it is blue inside. Typically, blue indicates 3.0. So it makes me think this stick does support 3.0, but it only works USB 2.0 on this particular motherboard from the looks of it. So this might be a little slow. Okay, so yes, English, US, that's good. Install now. This is where we need to enter our product key, which again is in the little card right here. Okay, product key has been entered. We accept the license agreement. You're not going any further if you don't. Upgrade. This should not be an upgrade install. I don't know why it's even given that option. Let's just go custom install. And allocated space. Yeah, we'll just go next. You could click new and set one up here. It should do this all automatically for us. Copying window files. This is the point where we just sit back, wait, and let it do its thing. Okay, and it looks like we're back to choosing some more options here. So yes, United States will be fine. Keyboard layout US, yeah, that'll be good. What language? Well, probably not that one. Let's go down to English here. Let's see, English United States. Yes, that is fine. I thought we did this. Okay, guess not. Network, do have a cable here. We can just plug that in. Let's see, where is it? Right there. And we should be connected. Oh great, now we can go look for updates. It's kind of why I left it off. Maybe I should have left it off and we could have gotten to Windows here. It might take a few minutes here if it's going to do some updates. Okay, that actually didn't take too long. I don't know if it did any updates or not, but we're just going to use an offline account. No, I do not want to sign in with a Microsoft account. Let's see. Well, a person is going to use this computer. Password is going to be 12345. I don't know if it'll even let me do that password. It does. Oop. Oh, I can't contain my password. Okay, fine. Whatever. Oh, our keyboard doesn't work. Okay, I can only do numbers. Oh, there we go. Wasn't clicked on it. Yeah, Cortana, sure, whatever. Location diagnostics, relevant ads, let's... Yeah, speech recognition, tailored experience. Yeah, we can leave that all on, I guess. This might take a few more moments here again. Okay, everyone, well, welcome to the best Windows ever, it claims, at least until the next one comes around. So let's just close that. And what we're actually going to start with here first is we're going to shut this down. And we're going to change the boot options and hopefully make it also go to the graphics card instead of off the onboard graphics. And if there's an option for it, we'll probably also turn off the onboard graphics, as we do want it to use the graphics card. Okay, gonna fire it back up, and the del key here, delete key, to get back into the BIOS. So, heading over to advanced features here. It's already set to the hard disk, CD-ROM, and USB. That should be good for boot up. I wouldn't change that. Let's see what's here. So graphics, actually, you know what? I think we need to go down. Full screen logo, that initial display first PCI slot. Let's change that to PEG. That should be the PCI Express slot. Then we're going to go back up here. IGX configuration. I guess this is the onboard graphics, so we're going to change that to disabled. And if I'm not mistaken here, that should disable the onboard graphics. Let's save this. Means we'll probably lose our display here, which would make sense, and it should switch over to the graphics card. Uh-oh, I'm not sure why it thinks it's broke, but that shouldn't be happening. So we are running off the graphics card here. I don't know if you can quite see it in the video there. Video cable coming off the graphics card this time instead of the onboard graphics. Another area, by the way, you could probably save yourself some money if you weren't to game on this system. Yeah, just restart, because like I said, it should restart fine. If you were not to game on this system, you would not need the graphics card here. You could save yourself some money on this. Again, like I said, one of the more expensive things in this computer was the graphics card. Also, you're going to see it here how fast we can boot up on a spinning platter hard drive here. Again, this is not going to be a lightning fast boot, given that it's a spinning platter as opposed to a solid state. Once we're up and running though, you most likely won't notice much difference between a hard drive and an SSD. And it's going to be the load times that are going to be a little bit longer. Also, I don't know if you can hear this on the microphone either, but now that we're using this card, it used to be screaming loud before. Now you can still hear it, but it's definitely a lot quieter. Well, I haven't even put one in yet, so how would it be incorrect? Let's see, we're logging in as person with our highly complex password there. Okay, and we're on the desktop here. Oh, look at that, Minecraft. So there's the start menu. So there's kind of three things we're going to want to do now. We're going to want to get the drivers and all the utilities for the motherboard. We're going to want to get the graphics card driver for the graphics card. And then we're also just going to want to let Windows do its thing installing updates, which will probably take an eternity, but I'm actually not sure how up to date this comes here. If this is, I don't know anywhere where it says on it, like I said, how up to date it is. Okay, well with that, that's going to do it for this build here. Windows is installed, drivers are installed. You probably noticed the difference with the screen here already. You can see the much higher resolution now that the official graphics card driver is installed. System seems to be running great. Again, we do need to do something with the cooler here and close off the front panel here. It'll probably be much quieter. Again, I don't know how well you can hear that, but it'll be much quieter if the cover, the front panel was on it. So anyway, that's going to do it for our $300 PC here. If folks have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them below. And as always, thanks for watching, and until next time.